Hello viewers, thank you for taking a look at this video. This will be the installation considerations for a Franklin Armory binary firing system 3 for the AK. And if you read the instructions from Franklin Armory, it indicates that with any variant of the AK, there may be some minor fitting required. This particular model is an M70 from Zastava, and we'll go over what needed to be addressed in order to properly install this fire control group. The fire control group in the kit is made up of the main trigger unit with the hammer and slave pin. There are also some bushings that float around in here, which the slave pin keeps those in place, as well as some receiver plugs for holes that aren't used from the original fire control group, the selector sticker to indicate the firing mode, the fire selector lever, and then a couple different grip screws depending on the type of grip, as well as a retaining spring that is used to keep in your original hammer pin. As far as internally, two things need to be addressed in this particular case. One is the grip bolt, one, its location and angle, and then also this rivet. If you look inside the receiver, you can see that this rivet here actually interferes with the fire control group being able to sit completely flat, as well as the grip screw angle doesn't and location does not match up. Just to illustrate, before this work was done, if the fire control group is sitting there, the original grip was at an angle of approximately so, and in order for this to be installed, the threads had to be drilled out and an angle, or at least the hole size, increased or elongated to accommodate matching up with the fire control group. So now, as you see, if I shift this over, it does have clearance to be able to match up with that correct angle and pull the fire control group down, as well as tighten the grip screw in completely. As far as the rivet goes, two things that you could do are, one, with a Dremel wheel, you could Dremel half of this rivet away, because that's about all that's hitting it, or you could mill it away, or you could actually do what I did in this case, which was take the material away from the frame of the trigger control group, which basically you can use a Dremel tool, or if you have a milling machine, and cut that away so it will clear the rivet. When you're working on the system, it's easier if you remove the hammer from the fire control group, just because going in and out of the receiver just to check fit is a lot easier. So that just goes back in place, and you would put the slave pin in, and at that point you'd be able to push it through the receiver. So this is a close-up of the unit. It's actually pretty straightforward. There's a ride height screw which I had removed but will replace, but it will basically just go inside the receiver with the hammer installed, of course, and then that'll push through the hammer and into the other side of the receiver when everything is lined up. So then once that is in there, the little spring clip gets pushed inside. You can lay the gun on its side and use a screwdriver, or if you have some long needle nose pliers, they can work as well. And then afterwards, your selector would lay on the side, and then the retaining screw will tighten it down in place. But before you put the all that together, after you get this front pivot locked in with the hammer pin, that's when you would attach the grip through here into the bottom of the receiver and pull it down. It is important that it is locked in, because as the bolt carrier goes by, if it's too high or off to the left or to the right, it can actually run into this part of the fire control group and damage it. So that would explain the modifications that are required, and it's fairly simple. If you're comfortable with it, it's something you could do on your own without necessarily needing a mill. It can all be done with a drill by elongating the hole, and also a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel or a grinding head. So thank you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section and I'll address it. Have a good day.